Right, hello, welcome back to our YouTube Live. This is our GCSE Results Day live reaction on our YouTube channel. Welcome and thank you for joining in. What we are going to do is hopefully listen and hear, or rather read, some of your thoughts in terms of how your results went, and also do a quick Q&A as well in terms of college and sixth form, and how to perform really well in your exam. So we're going to look at this today, and then we'll look at the grade boundaries. I know a lot of my students have asked about grade boundaries as well. So you can ask me about the grade boundaries, sixth form, any questions you want to ask in terms of moving forward with college, with sixth form, with employment as well. Hello, Talha. Yes, welcome to my YouTube Live. How did your exams go? How did everything go? Any of my current students, oh, sorry, not current students, but any of my students who I taught personally, it'd be amazing if you could share what you did end up getting for your GCSEs, especially for GCSE English, that is. I got a 6. Excellent. Wow. Amazing. Well done. Well done. That's really, really good, Talha. Um, that was your target grade, right? Was that your target grade? Grade 6. That's amazing. That's really, really good. Excellent. I'm proud of you. You deserve it. You worked really hard. So that's amazing news. What did you get for maths and science? Anyone else? Any other students of mine? If you want to share what you got for your results, perhaps. Do you know what the others got, Talha, by any chance? That's amazing. We're going to look at the grade boundaries. And then if you have any questions in regards to the grade boundaries, we can talk about that in later in more detail. So let's have a look at that in further detail. I'm not going to speak about that. Okay, that's fine. But the main thing is you've done really well in English. I'm happy that you've got the grade you desired for English, and now you can think, you can put that aside and move on to your college and sixth form. What do you plan to study in college or sixth form? Do you have anything in mind? Are you doing like A levels or are you considering B Tech? And do you have a confirmed space? If you have a confirmed space, um, is that your like first choice? Okay, so sports. Okay, that's fine. PE, that's good. So is that in your current school or is it in a different institution? PE, RE. Okay, that's good. So are these A levels or is it B Tech? I'm assuming it's A levels, right? Okay, PE and RE. Okay, another six from. Okay, that's fine. Well, thank you for attending my lessons. I hope you found them beneficial, and it's been a pleasure teaching you for your GCSEs. Yeah, so I wish you the best with your future. You'll see content here on my channel, education related, that you can still tune into and watch. General A level advice for revision, how to prepare for your exams for A levels, but a lot of the content will be A level maths, A level chemistry, A level biology, A level English, etc. But then there will be a lot more generic videos as well in terms of how to revise for A levels, top tips, career advice, and then we'll be doing live streams as well. So my aim essentially is to give back to you guys, and again, it's free content. And not just any content I want to give, but like content which is valuable. So something that you all can benefit from. But yeah, so that is the plan. Do you have anything you want to ask? Any questions? Feel free to ask. In the meantime, I'm going to show you the grade boundaries. So basically for English, right? If I go to the 2023 grade boundaries, so this YouTube live, just for your information, will be saved and it will be uploaded onto our channel. Yesterday we had 6 to 7 subscribers tuning into our YouTube live, and then once it was made public, we've already got how many views? Let's have a look. 152, which isn't bad as you can see. But yeah, so thank you for to those of you who watch it later on. That's absolutely fine. But thank you all for your support. So let's have a look at the grade boundaries in further detail. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So for this year's grade boundaries, again, it wasn't a shock. Okay, to be honest, it wasn't too high, it wasn't too low. And here I'm talking from English. Okay, I'm not too sure about your maths, your science, but in terms of English, the grade boundaries have not really changed drastically. So let's have a look at English. So let's start off with the grade five. So for grade five, if I just turn the stand this way, as you can see, you would have needed to score 81 out of 160. So for you to pass your English GCSE, in simple terms, you have to get simply 50%. Okay, 50%. As long as you get 50% from paper one and paper two, so that's literally 40 out of 80 for paper one, 40 out of 80 for paper two, then you've literally passed English GCSE. Okay, so it's as simple as that. And then grade six, so for a grade six, you would need 91, as you can see, 91 out of 160, which will also give you a grade six. So if you work it out in terms of one paper, for paper one, you would literally need 45 marks, and for paper two, you'd need another 45 marks. So, to those of you who got grade six, so for example, Talha, you got grade six, you've scored a minimum of 45 out of 80 for paper one and paper two. So, which is really good, and you should be proud of yourself. So, congratulations. And then moving on to grade seven, to those of you who scored a grade seven, 102, okay, in total would have scored you, um, well, as a minimum, sorry, 102 out of 160 would have given you a grade seven. So if you work it out for one paper, it's simply 51 marks. Okay, so 51 in paper one, 51 marks in paper two. So that's all you have to do to score those top marks. Okay, so that's for grade seven. Grade eight is 111. So 111 out of 160. So in terms of paper one and paper two individually, that I believe is only 56, okay, roughly 56 marks for each paper. So again, nothing of a surprise, nothing of a shock, to be fair here, in comparison to last year. And then finally, grade 9, you need 121 out of 160. So again, for one paper or each paper, you would need at least 60 marks. Okay, so 60 out of 80 for paper one and 60 out of 80 for paper two. So that's all you have to do in terms of each paper to score a grade 9. So again, if you were to ask me, how does it compare to last year's grade boundaries? We can have a look at it very quickly. So for grade 9 is for this year, 2023, is 121 marks. And then for 2022, same subject is 119. So this year, to get grade 9, you would have needed 2 additional marks or 2 extra marks. Okay. So grade 8, 2022, which was last year, 109. This year for grade 8 is 111. So again, another 2 marks. And then if we go to grade 7, for this year, 2023, you needed 102 marks. And last year for a grade 7, you would have needed, you would have required only 100. Okay, so again, you see the difference here. So 100 and um, sorry, if I just scroll across, yes, this one, 100 and 102. So on average, if you look, there's a difference of 2. Okay, so 2 additional marks. So let's be honest, that's not a significant difference to those of you who were aiming for 7 to 9. It only went up by 2 marks. Okay, and then going down to grade 6, for this year it was 91. And then for last year, so that's 91. And then for last year, for a grade 6 will be 90. Okay, so there's a difference of 1 mark with the grade 6. And then a grade 5, 80 marks last year, 2022, to pass. And then this year, it was 81. So again, a difference of 1 mark. So in simple terms, students, the difference, okay, from last year to this year is only 1 or 2 marks. Okay, so we've seen right now, for a grade 7 to a 9, it went up by 2 marks. From grade 5, grade 5s and 6, it went up by only 1 mark. So I hope that gives you a better insight. So just asking you all, do you think the grade boundaries were fair for English? What do you all think? Do you think it was reasonable? Because we just compared it to last year. What do you all think? Do you think the grade boundaries were reasonable? Was it too low? Was it too high? What's your thoughts? So, what's your thoughts on the grade boundaries for 2023? Do you think it was too high, or do you think it was okay? Do you think it could have been lower? I personally, if you were to ask me, I would say it's in fact reasonable considering um, the um, the insert or the reading text, how some students found it challenging. So, to be honest, I think the grade boundary itself is reasonable, and it's nothing surprising or of a shock. Okay, so what do you all think? Leave your comments on the chat section below. Do you think the grade boundaries were okay this year? Do you think they were higher? Do you think they were lower? Do you think, what's your opinion on the grade boundaries? And if so, do you have you all received your like particular marks? Do you know how many marks you've scored for your English? If any of you know, please do write on the comment section so then we can discuss. Okay, okay, so that's fine. I'm assuming there's no questions here, so that's fine. So yeah, so in simple terms, that is the grade boundaries covered for you. And now what I wanted to do for the next 10 minutes very quickly is just to give you some advice in terms of college, in terms of sixth form. So you, again, many of you are starting your sixth form or college in September. And again, there's a lot of students who have been asking us, how do we prepare? How do we revise? So, in simple terms, your college or sixth form, regardless of what subject you're studying, I can tell you this right now, there's more independent work. So, um, throughout your secondary school studies, you are, supported and guided by your teachers. Whereas when you get to college, when you get to sixth form, as you are slightly older now, it's more independent work. So you are expected to revise more independently. Okay. Yes, you can take your work to your teacher for help, but they expect you to do your work in your own time, and you should use your initiative. So the next 2 years are pivotal, especially because it's the bridge between your secondary school and university. If you do well in college, if you do well in sixth form, then that opens more doors for the next step, which is university. So, what I would say in terms of your preparation, I would say, take the next few days off or the next week or so off, but start preparing, start organizing your books, your writing pad, your pens, your pencils, your laptops, start organizing your revision. And start planning out how you are going to plan out your revision for the first year. Because remember, some of you are going to be sitting exams at the end of year 12, and it's important that you pass them and you do well, because if you don't do well, it could be the fact that you may have to resit those exams, or it could be that you have to move to another college or another sixth form. So you want to make sure you do well. And how do you do well? You have to prepare from day one. Sixth form, remember, it's not like secondary school where you've got 5 whole years to prepare for that final exam. Sixth form is 2 years, and it would go literally within a flash. Okay, so that's my advice to you. um, yeah, and just have a routine. Have a routine that you follow. Don't overwork yourself. Don't revise for long hours. Take breaks. And it's far more effective if you are able to revise with breaks put in place as well. So that is that. We are going to create content for A levels and B Tech, so do keep an eye out for that as well, because again, there is demand for students in terms of A levels and B Tech as well. So thank you all for watching this YouTube live, and I hope you have found this beneficial and informative. And like I said, it's been an incredible journey teaching you all throughout this previous academic year for GCSEs. The feedback on the YouTube, in terms of the videos, in terms of the content, has been amazing, has been really positive. So thank you all for your support. If you have any suggestions about the channel, what kind of content you'd want to see, please let us know in the comment section below, because we are always trying to improve and grow the channel. Other than that, that is it for today's YouTube live. I will probably hold. I'll wait perhaps another, let's say, 5 minutes, and if someone joins, we can sort of further discuss it in further detail. Thank you. So, as mentioned, remember what we have covered in today's YouTube live. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But in terms of the grade boundaries, you have now seen how we've compared it to last year, and seen that there hasn't really been a significant difference from last year. So, from a grade 7 to a grade 9, the grade boundary has gone up by 2 marks. Okay, so for 2023, if you were aiming for a grade 7 to a 9, it went up by 2 marks. Okay, so if we look at it and compare it with last year, to be honest, it's nothing significant. And if you look at the grade boundaries for a grade 5 and a grade 6, it's gone up by only 1 mark. Okay, so if you ask yourself, to be honest, the grade boundaries for English for this year were reasonable, and it wasn't anything surprising. What do you all think? Do you have any thoughts on the grade boundaries? How do you think you performed in your exams? Leave it in the chat section below. How do you think you performed? What could have gone better? Is there anything that you could have done differently, perhaps? So do leave them in the chat section below, because someone else might have a different perspective or a similar idea, and you can learn from that as well. So what I will do is I will save this YouTube live. So I know a lot of you do not watch it live, but you watch it after. So for example, like yesterday, we had students join the live, but then we had a lot of students ask questions after the YouTube live as well. So although you cannot maybe attend and listen, you can just watch it in your own time. So I can see there's one person. How did your exams go, Rayhan? Okay, thank you for joining my YouTube live. How did your GCSE exams go? How do you think you did? So were you happy with your results? Do you think they were okay? Do you think you could have done better? What's your thoughts? Okay, that's fine, Rehan. So that's fine. If you don't want to share, that's completely fine. But yeah, so what we'll do is we'll probably wrap up the YouTube live here. Unless you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But yeah, so what we'll do is we'll probably end it here because we are coming towards the end of our YouTube live. Thank you all for your continuous support. It's been an incredible journey teaching you all in this academic year. I wish you all the best for your college/slash sixth form. Continue working hard because the hard work doesn't end there. So, to those of you who are live, do you have any questions, anything you want to ask? How did your exams go? How were the results? Were you happy with the results? Were you disappointed? Do you think you could have done better? And how do you think the grade boundaries were this year? Do you feel like the grade boundaries were reasonable? Or do you think the grade boundaries were fair, or do you think they were lower than expected? So, if you have any thoughts for the last minute or so, just leave them in the comment section. We can have a quick chat about it. Okay, so I'm assuming there's no more questions, right? So what I will do, we are approaching 25 minutes on into the YouTube live. I would I would probably end the YouTube live here now. So yes, so thank you very much. Please follow our social media, Easy Education London on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends. Um, to those of you who have benefited, please do like the videos and share it with your family and friends because it does help the YouTube channel grow. Other than that, thank you, and I shall see you very soon. Thank you.